Good morning children. We will do a small revision for our upcoming exam. Okay. So for this exam we will be having lessons 4 and 5. Okay. So first one, the fourth lesson is about our atomic structure. So here we are going to learn the structure of the atom. So first we should know what is an atom. So atom is the smallest unit of matter. Okay. Then what can you say? It can either exist as a single atom or it can combine with atoms of the same element. So what is the definition for atom? It is defined as the smallest particle of an element which exhibits all the properties of the element and which may or may not exist independently. This is a definition which you should be learning as it is. Write it down and see 2 times. இங்க 3 பாயிண்ட் இருக்கு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து ஆட்டம் தான் ஸ்மாலஸ்ட் பார்ட்டிகல்னு சொல்லணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் it has the properties of that same element. Okay. The third point is it can or it cannot exist independently. Fine. இதுதான் ஆட்டமோட definition. Now coming to the structure of the atom. So structure of the atom வந்துட்டு the first point is the central part of the atom. You should draw the diagram. This diagram and this diagram. Okay, first you should draw this diagram and then only you should draw this diagram. Okay, so for central part of the atom is called a nucleus. Okay, and what is there inside the nucleus? The positive charge and the neutrons. The positive charge or the protons and the neutrons are there in the nucleus. So the nucleus of an atom is always positive. Okay, the protons and the neutrons are present in the nucleus, which will make the mass of the atom. Now where are the electrons? The electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the form of orbits or in the fixed parts called orbits. Okay, then the number of electrons in an atom is equal to the number of protons. So this will be very important point. The number of electrons will always be equal to the number of protons. So the atom is always neutral. And now coming to the shells or the orbits, they are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 and they are named as the letters KLMN. Then the shells will have energy. Okay, the electrons will move from higher energy to a lower energy, or they can move from lower energy to higher energy. This is all happening. And the shells, the outermost shell of an atom is called the valence shell, and the electrons in the valence shell are called valence electrons. So look at this revision zone. Each element has a name and a unique chemical symbol. True. Neutron has mass equal to the mass of the proton. True. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in fixed orbits. True. The valence shell can hold maximum of 10 electrons. No, it is 8. The mass number is denoted by Z. No, the mass number is denoted by A. Okay, coming to molecules. When 2 or more atoms of the same element combine, that is called a molecule, and it can be of the same element or of different element. If it is of the same element, it is called molecule of an element, and it is different element, it is called the molecule of the compound. Then coming to ions and radicals, we saw the electrons are moving from one energy level to another energy level. When they are moving or they are going during the chemical reaction, when the atom is donating or accepting the electrons, we can say it is attaining the positive charge or the negative charge accordingly. If it is donating, it will attain positive charge. When it is accepting, it will attain the negative charge. So what is this? The charged atom, the atom that attains the charge as a result of loss or gain of electrons is called ion. Okay, the atom that donates or the atom with a positive charge is called cation. Okay, whereas the atom with a negative charge is called anion. You can give examples K plus and Br minus. And then what is this radical? Radical means group of charged atoms. The group of charged atoms which are behaving as a single unit. Okay, so that is called radical. And if they are of the same elements, then they are called as simple radicals. And if they are of different atoms, they are called as compound radicals. This much you should know. Okay, and radicals also cannot exist independently. They have to combine with somebody. Okay. Now coming to atomicity, the number of atoms, okay, that will make a molecule is called the atomicity. The number of atoms which makes the molecule is called the atomicity. It can be monoatomic, diatomic, tri, tetra. Monoatomic in the case of iron, aluminium, argon. Diatomic in the case of all the gases, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen and all. Ozone, it is triatomic. Phosphorus, tetra. And then sulfur is polyatomic, which is more than 4. Okay. Then coming to the valency, we already saw the combining capacity of an element. The combining capacity of an atom, okay, in an element with other atoms is known as the valency. Okay. So, depending upon the electronic configuration is the structure of the electrons in that particular atom, the valency will be differing. So, there are types of valencies. What is the monovalent means? Single valency. That will be having only one electron to donate or one electron to accept. Okay. Sodium, chlorine, hydrogen, oxygen. Till hydrogen you will be having monovalent. Oxygen, calcium, magnesium will have all divalent properties. And then aluminum will have 3, carbon will have 4. These are all the valencies. Then coming to the variable valencies, there are certain things, certain elements which will have variable valencies like copper, iron, silver, mercury and nickel. Coming to the periodic table, we saw there are 118 elements in the available now. Out of that, they are all arranged based on their atomic number. So they are arranged in the horizontal rows are called periods and vertical columns are called as groups. So there are 7 periods and 18 groups in the periodic table. Depending upon that, your physical reactions and the chemical reactions will vary. Okay. Physical properties like your boiling point, your melting point and all. Whereas the chemical reactions will be depending upon the electronic configuration. So this is the periodic table. It starts with hydrogen and this first column. So this column is called period. So you will be having 7 periods and you will be having 7 periods and 18 groups. 18 groups, 7 periods. 7 periods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Horizontals are called periods and the verticals are called groups. So we will be having 18 groups. Okay. Then we will be seeing the writing the symbol first. Symbol will be very bold. Okay, above that you will be writing the element name and above that you will be writing the atomic number and below that or below the symbol you will be writing the relative mass. That is the atomic mass, you will be writing it in the below. Okay, then coming to the exercises. Okay, the nucleus of an atom consists of neutrons and protons. Identify the triatomic element here, ozone. Which is the divalent element? Magnesium. Valency of oxygen is 2. Which of the following elements shows variable valency? Nickel. And identify the negative radical? Hydroxide. Because aluminium is 3 plus, magnesium is 2 plus and ammonium is a element. Okay. So ammonium is different, ammonia is different. Ammonium NH4. Ammonia is NH3 plus. Okay. So next coming to the Phillips. Substance which contains only one kind of atom is called element. Subatomic particles with negative charge are called electrons. The element phosphorus is tetraatomic. An atom with a negative charge is called an anion. The elements are arranged in the horizontal rows. Horizontal rows are called periods. The neutron, then coming to the true or false. Neutrons do not have any charge. True. Chlorine is a divalent element. No, it is false. Copper exhibits variable valency. True. Cations are atoms that have positive charge. True. And in an ionic bond, 2 atoms share electrons. False. This much you should know. And all the question answers I have given in the WhatsApp. Okay. Learn the definition, learn the differentiate and learn the brief question answers thoroughly. Then you can go for the detailed ones. Okay. Now coming to the fifth lesson, language of chemistry. Okay. So first we are starting with what is a change. Change is nothing but a transformation of a substance from one form to another. Here we saw two changes. One is physical change and the chemical change. In chemical change, we will be seeing the changes in both chemical properties and in the physical properties. So that is why it becomes a chemical change. What is this chemical reaction? A chemical change in which two or more substances will react and give new substance is called as chemical reaction. Okay. So example is the formation of water. Two atoms of hydrogen and two atoms of hydrogen or two atoms of oxygen. So all this, that is 2 into H2, that will be 4 atoms of hydrogen. That's why it's 4 atoms. So this 2 atoms of hydrogen will combine with 1 atom of oxygen to form 1 molecule of water. Hereas other 2 will combine with other oxygen and will form the other molecule of water. Okay. So finally we will be having 2 molecules of water. Okay. 4 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen will combine to give 2 molecules of water. Okay. Then during chemical reaction, we can say 2 or more elements will react and a compound can split also. It need not only combine always, it can even split. So what are the characteristics of the chemical reaction? Either it is change in color, change in the color in the sense copper sulfate. Okay, the blue color copper sulfate, when it is added with iron pieces, okay, it will change into green color. Then the second one is the formation of the precipitate. Precipitate is something which is settling down. It will not be soluble at all. Okay, so copper sulfate, when you are reacting it with hydrogen sulfide, you will be having copper sulfide and sulfuric acid. Then the evolution of the gas. Evolution of the gas, the sodium bicarbonate. That is, we have seen in the acetic acid and the baking soda. You will be seeing the effervescence. Effervescence means small bubbles coming in the form of the carbon dioxide gas, which is coming out in the form of the bubbles. Then odor. Odor means smell. Okay, the pungent odor from the ammonia. Ammonia gas. See this ammonia, NH3. So it will be having the pungent odor. Okay. Then stage of the physical state, Physical state means what? From the liquid state, it will be changing into gaseous state. Okay. Then there is change in energy. Energy means you will be absorbing the heat energy or you will be liberating the heat energy. Absorbing or liberating. If you absorb the heat energy, it is called endothermic. And if you are liberating it, it is called exothermic. So endothermic heat will be inside the reactant side and in the exothermic heat is outside. Okay, that is heat is given out. In the case of carbon, when it is combined with oxygen, heat is given out. Whereas when carbon is combined with sulfur, heat is required to form carbon disulfide. Then coming to the chemical equation. So what is this? This is the main part, chemical equation. That is, we are going to write, okay, the chemical reaction. We are going to represent the chemical reaction either in two forms, either in the form of a word or in the form of a symbol okay. So either it can be a word equation or it can be a chemical equation. So in the word equation, you will be writing in the form of words. Hydrogen plus chlorine will give me hydrogen chloride. Typical English words. Whereas for chemical equation, we will be writing the symbols. Chemical symbols, the corresponding atoms, everything we will be writing. Here, the left coming to the characteristics of a chemical equation. First one is, it will have reactants and it will have products. Okay, so the substances that react are called reactants. The new substances which are being formed are called products. Okay, then there will be an arrow, that is what we will be writing it. So these are the steps which we will be writing for writing the chemical reaction or the chemical equation. The reactants are written on the left hand side, whereas the products are written on the right hand side. And there is a flow of reaction which is shown in the form of a arrow. The arrow will show the flow of the reaction. Okay. Then the chemical reactions conditions. The conditions are all written here. Either heat is required or the gas is formed. Everything is written here. Now coming to balancing. Balancing means what? The left hand side should be balanced with the right hand side. That means the number of atoms on the reactant side should be equal to the number of atoms on the product side. Okay. For that, first you should write all the elements. Okay. Then write left hand side, then right hand side. Now you should calculate the number of atoms on the left hand side. For calcium, left hand side is 1 and on the right hand side also is 1. For oxygen, left hand side you have 2 atoms. For in the right hand side you are having only 1 atom. Now to balance, how I am going to balance? I am going to multiply the right hand side by 2. Okay, for oxygen. Then only first we will be balancing oxygen. So 1 into 2, 2. The moment you put on 2 on the right hand side, it will be holding good for calcium also, because it is one molecule. Calcium oxide is one molecule. So when I put 2, the 2 will be holding good for calcium also. So what happened? Now the calcium is also becoming 2 on the right hand side. Now I have to make the left hand side also 2. So that I will be putting 2 in the as a whole number here. Multiply calcium with 2. So 2 atoms of calcium will react with oxygen atom to form 2 molecules of calcium oxide. Okay. Now we will be seeing many examples. Okay, we saw the examples number 1, 2, 3 and all. So what is the chemical equation in which the number of atoms on each element on both the sides of the equation are equal? Then only it is called balanced chemical equation. If they are not equal, then it becomes unbalanced chemical equation. Otherwise, it is called as skeletal equation. Then law of conservation of mass, that is atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. So we have to ensure that the number of atoms on the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms on the product side. Then coming to the exercises. What is happening? Identify the correct balanced equation. The third one only is the correct balanced equation. Then the chemical substances that participate in a chemical reaction are called reactants. Which of these is a balanced chemical equation? The second one only is the balanced chemical equation. Identify the product in the equation, which is product. So that is copper sulfide. Then when a test tube containing ammonium chloride is heated, that means it will be releasing pungent odor. Ammonium itself, pungent odor only. Okay. Then the new substances formed during the chemical reaction are called products. Carbon dioxide with water will give H2CO3. The reaction in which the heat energy is released is known as released. So it is exothermic. Then the change is nothing but the transformation. Then oxygen and hydrogen rearrange to form water molecules with the help of chemical bonds. Coming to true or false. Some chemical reactions show a change in color. True. A chemical reaction expressed in words is known as chemical equation. False. It is called word equation. In a chemical equation, the head of the arrow points towards the products. True. Chemical change takes place, the new products are formed, and that is same as that of the original substance. No. Insoluble products is called as precipitate. True. Then this is the completed balance form. 2 atoms of aluminium with 3 atoms of sulfur will give aluminium sulfide. Zinc plus 2 molecules of HCl will give me zinc chloride. Water plus carbon dioxide will give H2CO3. KOH with HCl will give me KCl plus water. Zinc sulfide plus oxygen. 2 molecules of zinc sulfide plus 3 molecules of oxygen will give me 2 molecules of zinc oxide plus 2 molecules of sulfur dioxide. Then Pb is lead. Lead oxide will give me lead plus oxygen. Okay. Then express this. This I have given in the notes. Okay. Define, differentiate. You should learn all this thoroughly for your classwork notebook. Okay. This is the answer for the fifth one. Aluminium plus water. 2 molecules of aluminium plus 3 molecules of water will give aluminium oxide plus 3H2. Then calcium plus oxygen gives calcium oxide. 2 atoms of calcium plus oxygen will give me 2 molecules of calcium oxide. Then potassium chloride on decomposition, that is 2 KClO3 will give me 2 KCl plus 3 O2. Then magnesium hydroxide will give me 2 magnesium oxide plus 2 H2O. Copy these answers for this fifth one. Okay children, so learn thoroughly, learn all the 1 marks and then short answers thoroughly with the given notes. Okay, thank you.